Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a really powerful ancient text, Psalm 50. It offers some surprisingly relevant insights, maybe even a shortcut, to understanding what true worship and connection with God actually look like. And the big question we're tackling is, how can this timeless wisdom strengthen your trust and relationship with God right now in our modern lives? Okay, so the psalm kicks off with this incredible scene. It's really vivid. Imagine God appearing as the ultimate judge. The text says he calls the entire earth from sunrise to sunset. He's shining out of Zion, described as the perfection of beauty. And his entrance, it's pretty dramatic. There's fire, a tempest. He's summoning heaven and earth to witness because he's there to judge his people. And the heavens themselves declare his righteousness. It's quite a picture of divine power.
It really is. And what's fascinating about that opening, those first 6 verses, is how powerfully it establishes God's absolute authority. There's just no ambiguity. All creation is accountable to him. It reminds us immediately who God is, the sovereign, righteous judge. It kind of sets up this cosmic courtroom.
Right. And after that massive display, he speaks directly to his people. And this is where it gets, well, really interesting. You'd think he'd demand more rituals, right? More sacrifices. But no, the first thing he says is basically, I don't need your sacrifices, your burnt offerings, not required for my sake.
Which must have been jarring for them. I mean, sacrifice was central to their worship. Their entire religious life revolved around it.
Exactly. And God explains why. He says, in verses 9 to 12, something like, every animal in the forest is already mine, the cattle on 1,000 hills. If I were hungry, I wouldn't tell you. The whole world is mine. He even asks rhetorically, do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? It just pulls the rug out from under their assumption.
Yeah, it completely reframes things.
Yeah.
And it forces that crucial question, doesn't it? If God owns everything and doesn't need these physical offerings, what does he actually want from us? What's the real currency of connection with him? The wisdom here is so clear. True worship isn't just about going through the motions. It's not the outward act itself.
So what is it then? What does he ask for? Verses 14 and 15 lay it out pretty plainly. Offer God thanksgiving and pay your vows to the Most High. And then call on me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall glorify me. That seems to be the core request for those seeking him.
Right. And that paying your vows, it's about integrity, isn't it? Following through on your commitments to God, big or small.
Yeah, promises made.
Exactly. It all points to worship being heart-centered. It's about sincerity, genuine gratitude, living faithfully. God sees past the performance. Outward religious acts without that inner obedience, it's hypocrisy in his eyes. And that focus on gratitude, offer thanksgiving, that's huge. It keeps the heart humble, aligned with him. It's about relationship.
But then the psalm takes a sharp turn, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It addresses the wicked very directly. God confronts them. Starting around verse 16, he basically asks, why do you even talk about my laws or my covenant when you hate instruction, when you toss my words aside?
It's a powerful challenge.
And he lists their actions. Consenting with thieves, joining adulterers, speaking evil, lying, slandering even their own family. He points out this huge gap between their words and their lives. And he says, I kept silent, and you thought I was just like you, but I'm going to call you out.
Wow. Yeah, that really underscores the message of accountability, doesn't it? Everyone answers to God. Actions, attitudes, the whole picture.
Yeah.
It's also a stark warning against getting complacent. Thinking God's silence means he approves of inconsistency. It makes you ask, is my faith just for show, or does it actually shape how I live when nobody's looking? Because he is looking.
Okay, so bringing this all forward, how does this ancient psalm speak to us now? In our world, with all its noise and distractions, how can Psalm 50 actually help strengthen our trust, our relationship with God?
That's really the key, isn't it? And it's incredibly practical. We can pull out some core applications. First, it emphasizes authentic faith over empty rituals. Are we just performing a religion, or is our heart truly engaged? Going to church, donating money, posting pious things online. Psalm 50 says that stuff means little without genuine integrity underneath. Sincerity builds trust because it's real. We're not faking it with God.
Right, so it's about being genuine.
Exactly. Second, consistent living, private and public. That hypocrisy God condemned. It's still relevant.
Yeah.
Our online persona, our work self, our private self, they should align ethically and morally. That consistency builds an honest relationship with God. No masks, nothing hidden. That fosters trust.
Okay, consistency. Makes sense.
Third, cultivating gratitude daily. The psalm says, offer thanksgiving. Actively practicing gratitude, maybe journaling, prayer, just noticing blessings, builds resilience. It shifts our focus from lack to abundance, deepens appreciation, and that naturally grows our trust in God's goodness.
Gratitude is powerful.
Definitely. Fourth, responding to crises with trust. Remember, call on me in the day of trouble. When life gets hard, yes, seek practical solutions, but Psalm 50 reminds us to lean first on God's guidance and promises. Actively trusting Him through the tough times deepens our reliance and proves His faithfulness. It turns fear into hope.
Yeah, leaning on Him when it matters most.
And finally, number 5, stay spiritually awake. It's so easy to get distracted, to become complacent, like the psalm warns. Psalm 50 is a call to keep our focus on God, to live intentionally aware of His presence and standards. That constant conscious choice is vital for a living, growing relationship, not letting the world lull us to sleep spiritually.
So when you lay it all out like that, these aren't just old rules. They really are, like you said, blueprints for a deeper connection today. It seems to be all about genuine gratitude, real integrity, and just unwavering trust. Less about doing things for God and more about being authentic with God.
Precisely. It's about the heart, the relationship.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, let's hold on to that core message from Psalm 50. What God truly desires is your heart, your authentic gratitude, your trust much more than any outward performance. It's about that real, honest connection. So the question for you to think about is this: how will you apply this information in your life to strengthen your trust and your relationship with God?